This video will demonstrate how to conduct volunteer point counts for the 3rd Pennsylvania Bird Atlas. The point counts are short stationary surveys that can be conducted between May 25th and July 5th each year of the Atlas. The data from point counts are used to estimate relative abundance of bird species. To participate in these surveys, you should be skilled in identifying most species of Pennsylvania by sight and sound. We are aiming to complete about 4 point count surveys per Atlas block, which means a lot of volunteer help is needed. However, it's often possible to conduct several point counts in a short time and even fit them into a morning of birding, so once you understand the process, it isn't a huge commitment. Ideally, each breeding season, we will complete about 20 to 25% of the point counts in a county. If you can, try especially to help in counties that are behind on this goal. Let's talk about planning for point counts. First, you should download the point count protocol sheet. From the Pennsylvania Bird Atlas homepage, go to Participate, click on Priority Species and Special Surveys, and click the link for point count surveys. From this page, you can scroll down and download the protocol sheet. This sheet includes detailed instructions for doing point counts and a link to the point count locations. On the first page, click on this link to the Hero platform to start exploring point count locations. This platform can be accessed on both computer and mobile devices. Click on the region and then find the county that you're interested in, and click on the link to view the locations in Google Maps. So I'm going to go to Lycoming County and click on the Google link. Note that these maps are color-coded to show which counts have already been completed. At this time for Lycoming County, the red points were done in 2024, and the yellow remain to be completed. Now zoom in for points you might be interested in doing. Note that the points are named for the block that they are in, along with a 1, 2, 3, or 4. It will be important to keep track of these point count names. Now, before you do anything else, please contact the county coordinator to let them know you intend to do the surveys you have scoped out. Likewise, after the survey season, you should confirm with the coordinator which point counts were completed. Next, you'll need to make a plan for where exactly you'll do each point count from. When possible, try to do the survey from the precise location of the pin. If you can't get to the precise location, you can do the survey from anywhere within 0.6 miles or 3,200 feet from the point. Staying within this buffer will ensure that point count surveys are properly spaced apart from one another and from block boundaries. Let's look at a couple examples. This point, 49C75-2, is right at the intersection of a highway and a smaller road, so it should be possible to conduct the survey right at this location. However, this point, 49C75-1, looks like it might be in a patch of private land, so unless you have permission to access this location, you need to determine if you can get close enough to the pin to do the survey from public land. So click on the point, and then click on the Google Map link that opened up in this left panel. Once that opens in Google Maps, right-click on the point and select Measure Distance. I'm going to zoom out a little so I can see that this road here to the right looks to be the closest accessible location. So I'm going to now click on a point along that road. This box opened up that tells me that this distance is almost 3,000 feet, so that is within the allowable distance to do this point count from. At this point, you need to make sure that you can find this location on the road when you actually go to do the survey, so you need to take notes on where to go. Or if you close this measure distance box and you click right back on that location on the road, the latitude and longitude will open up. And you can use that to navigate to this location in Google Maps. You can also download the precise locations for all the point counts if you'd prefer to navigate to them using another mapping tool such as Gaia or Avenza, or if you have a GPS unit. So it does take a bit of work in advance to plan exactly where to go for these point counts, but it will help you on the day of your surveys. What happens if you can't do a point count? Perhaps there's nowhere to access close enough to the point, or you get there and find that it's near a highway and the traffic noise interferes with your ability to hear birds. That's okay. Let the county coordinator know that the point couldn't be done and try to complete the others in the block if possible. Now that the planning is done, it's time for the fun part, doing point counts. Point counts can be done from May 25th to July 5th between about 5:15 and 10 a.m. Between about 6 to 9 a.m. is the ideal time. Only conduct surveys during decent weather and when there is nothing significantly impacting your ability to hear birds. Once you reach the survey location and are prepared to start, simply start your eBird checklist, making sure that you're in the Atlas project. Because these are stationary surveys, you can turn or take a step if you're trying to better see or hear a bird, but you should not be walking around. Record all birds detected as well as any relevant breeding codes only during the 6-minute survey period. At exactly 6 minutes, stop your checklist. You can now double check that you've recorded all species, counts, and breeding codes. Select a personal location for your checklist and use the name of the point count location, for example, 49C75-1 in the location name. The final step before submitting is to share your checklist with PA Bird Atlas. If you forget to do this before submitting, you can share it later from your computer in the checklist settings. To make sure you've done a point count checklist correctly, you can check a few things when you open the checklist in eBird. Note the point count name, the checklist is in the Atlas project, it has been shared with PA Bird Atlas, and it is a stationary, complete 6-minute checklist. Please contact your county coordinator or PA Bird Atlas at hawkmountain.org if you have questions about point counts or need help getting started. Thank you for your support of the Pennsylvania Bird Atlas, and happy birding.